Good evening, campers. I hope we're all live now. Sorry for the mix-up with that little chat earlier. I will explain in due course. So, welcome to the Woodland Camp and Craft live chats, everybody. I'm Kev. Woodland Camp and Craft is my YouTube channel, and I'm the host for these chats. So, big shout out all my early squad in the house tonight. Over we got Ian's YouTube channel, Norfolk Boy, Jorvik Outdoors, Kent Survival. Well done, Kent, for getting a big bit of recognition from Joe Robinette. Good lad. Gareth Zoe Wildcamps. Well done, you two, getting out. 5 snow camps on the trot. Norfolk Boy, who else we got? John Carlisle, I've just seen him in the other chat. Welcome, John. Just trying to catch up. There's loads and loads of chat going on already, which I like. Wild Herb, SMW, Where's Redpath, Nudge Outdoors. Who else have we got? Who else have we got? Snail, Daz D, Sky Blue, Gillian Smith, Step Away from the Screens, Andy Ragg, Chris Britton, and we're all caught up with everyone who's in the early squad. So big shout out to everyone in the later squad, people that's going to come in a bit later, and lastly but not leastly, everyone that's going to come back a bit later for the to watch as a video. Chris K, here we go, some late squad. Ian Naylor, here we go. Yeah, so firstly, I always have to get these few formalities out of the way. So first, we've got the sub count for the week for my channel, which is 420. So obviously, apologies for ducking out on the chat last week. Nothing major, but some personal stuff come up, personal family life stuff happened, which it sometimes does get in the way, doesn't it? So last minute, I had to just back out from the chat, but it was a good job as well, because on the 7th of the 3rd, the chat was at the sub count was 1409, and then we went all the way down to 1407. It was the first time since we started doing the chats the more structured way that we're doing, that we've took a nosedive. I don't know what happened, but we're back up to 1420. So there we are, 1420 for the week, which is good. We're getting ever closer to that 1.5k and the giveaway. So obviously you can imagine there's a good few topics to get through tonight, because we missed a week, but that's not so bad because the special guest is running late and stuck in traffic. So I'm just waiting for his text to see how we're getting on. But first, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's have it. The good, right? This is a story for all the YouTubers in the house. I watched the channel, a video on the channel the other week. The young lad, he looks like a schoolboy, and I've put made a note of his channel. It's Nicholas Green Outdoors. So there we are, deep snow. He looked like he's in the States. I thought I watched this kid's video. 70 subscriber video he called it, camping in a blizzard. So I'm watching this young lad, and I thought, yeah, he had a nice little video. Gave it a thumbs up. Anyway, it's just come back up on the recommended screen right at the side of all the top YouTubers that you can imagine. TA Outdoors, Scrambled O, Joe Robinette, myself, Reliance. This video's done 1.5 million views in 2 months. And from that video, which he called his 70 subscriber video, is now at 80,000 subs in 2 months. Now that is just blown my mind. That gives us all, optimism that only takes one video we have to put out that just gets recognized in the right way, and there we go. We can all blow up. But that is amazing. I couldn't believe it. This kid 70 thingy to 80,000 subs. It is mad. So Nicholas Green Outdoors. If anyone goes over there and sees it, just tell him that old Woodland Camp and Craft had sent you. And yeah, the video, I mean, I'm not going to criticize a kid who is a little bit inexperienced. He's camping out in his back garden in the snow and whatever. But I'm not taking anything away from him. You know, he deserves it. He's still getting out and doing it. It's the kid factor, Kev. Maybe so, Mr. Andy Ragg. Welcome to the chat. Either that or we've figured out that his mum or dad works at YouTube. Oh, but that is just amazing. That is just amazing. So, the ugly is sort of a news story as well. And I've seen that a dog has died in an overhead locker on an airplane. Someone's rammed the dog in there and it's died. And then there comes a story a couple of weeks ago about a bloody hamster that was in a plane. Then he got stuffed down the bog and that died. Now, believe it or not, these small pets, if you've got a fear of flying, what's it called? The comfort or the stroking. You're allowed to have small pets. You know, onto the airline. So I just thought that was real bad that, you know, these animals are dying because for whatever reason. I don't think that's very nice at all. And the ugly has got to be fake accounts, right? So I'm going to tell you a bit more story about fake accounts in a minute, but I'm starting to see a load of accounts all over YouTube and especially on Facebook. They're getting into groups and causing arguments. Because they'll go into a group, and I had it the other day, wild camping, Bushcraft and wild camping group, 30,000 members, an Indian-looking guy come in with a stupid name, and you could tell it was fake, and he was just there to cause trouble. But everyone reacted, and then everyone's calling everyone, and I just thought that is ugly, you know, so I thought, right, that's going in the ugly section. But fake accounts. So, I've got a story from yesterday. My latest video I put out, that was a video, I get a comment and I see it's Hayes Outdoors and I think, yes, Hazy boy, he's watching. You know, I'm on Hayes's radar. And it said, what did the comment say? I can't even remember now. Oh, great, another fat idiot that doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm shocked, I'm devastated that one of my YouTubing idols has just given me some savage comments. So I messaged him on a few platforms like Facebook and Instagram and all that, saying, "Oh my God, is this you?" I'm a bit shocked. And then Owen Albion Camping pointed out that the name is slightly different, and it was not in capitals, whereas Hayes, the real Hayes, please stand up, is capitals Hayes, capitals at the beginning of Hayes and capitals at the beginning of Outdoors, and this other account wasn't. So yeah, I messaged Hayes, and good lad. He's messaged me a few times now, and we've been talking, and obviously it's not him. But yeah, I thought, but I couldn't figure out if someone's just trying to troll Hayes and cause him a load of shit, or if someone's got a gripe with me and just used Hayes' name and logo in a thingy for a fake channel. And maybe then I thought maybe it's someone from that fallout on that wild camping group. Someone's took a bit of time out of their life just to come and give me a load of crap that way, but I don't know. But fake accounts, I'm getting sick to death of fake accounts, honestly. But obviously, the people come sometimes to come in the side chat and all that, and yeah, I'm getting sick of it, and I'm going to get to a bit stricter and cutting all these fake accounts off because they're just no good for nothing on nobody. So, anyone, side chat. Clanger Bow, Handy Outdoors, Ken Allen, nice to see you, bud. God knows what time it is where you are in the world. And I think that's all it. And that's all you know. Yeah, what do you think in the side chat about fake accounts? Keefer's Outdoors. How do folks? Handy, Jorvik. Please like the chat, says Jorvik. It helps the channel. Thank you very much. We was going to have Jorvik on tonight, but he didn't think he's a big enough star to be on. But it doesn't matter who you are. You could have 1 sub or 1 billion. If I want you on, it's because I want you on. Sadax says, "Where's? There's a lot of Kevin. They suck, don't they? Just John. Jambido, morning. It's 1:10 here. Not that late here, thank God. So." That's the good and the bad and the ugly. So I'm gonna do a little thing. You know, usually when I ask the guests to come on, I usually ask for their comment of the week. I'm going to do it as well now. So my channel of the week. Yeah, I've got a new channel. I found it last weekend. There you go, clue in the name. I was just having a beer on this, you know, on your recommended videos on YouTube there. And she's called Girl Outdoors. A young lass, I think she's a schoolgirl. Because on one or two of her videos she said coming from school, but it's Becky. But yeah, I mean, I started watching everything and I thought, you know, is she any good? But she's going out up the hill, she's going out doing bushcraft in the woods, she's building shelters, she's going on her own, she's going with family, and she's putting out some stuff, and everything's right in thingy. So respect to the girl, Becky. That's Girl Outdoors. Be great if, I think she's, I can't remember what sub she was on. I think she's on about 6K. But yeah, she's pretty cool, and she's pretty, you know, for a young lass. I hope Lily follows in that sort of direction. So if you go over, say hello to Becky. Girl Outdoors is the channel. If someone can find it and stick it in the side chat, and then if you'll go over and say we're all come from Kev, that'd be grand. What have we got here? Video of the week. So my favorite video of the week, and again, this is not because it's big channels. You know, I watch some channels that are a lot smaller than mine, and some of them are a lot bigger. So this is no bias, but it was Joe's video. I just watched Joe's video. That's my favorite video of the week that I've watched, and that was out of his dog. And it's the same again, the same thing I've always said about Joe and why I like watching him, because it doesn't matter how big he keeps getting or how he keeps rising up the ladder, that he's still going out and just doing it just for the pure love of it. The video was overnight with my dog and some stone cut bacon. Yeah, and it was just a nice, chilled video. So yeah, Joe over there. What else have we got? Shout outs. So shout outs has got to go to Hayes Outdoors for actually getting back in touch with me and responding and being a cool dude, and you know, messaging me loads of times last night and this morning trying to figure out who this fake account was. So cheers, Hazy boy. Shout out to you. And Ken Survival for getting on Joe's, like I said earlier, Joe's Robinette's radar. He did a winter blizzard camp, and Joe shared it around the internet. So well done to you, Andy. So right, my name's been flashed up there. Let's have a look. Sky Blue. Would you let your daughter outdoors on her own? Not yet, because she's only 10. When she's a bit later into her teens, then yeah, you've got to, haven't you? Mr. Fraz out and about. Evening, my mate. Evening, my mate. Yeah. So I'm just making sure I don't miss the chat. So Andrew Forrest, welcome, dude. So now my comment of the week, like I asked the guest, I'm going to start doing it, and it was a real nice comment. It was from Like We Did Outdoors, so shout out to you. And he just put something about the chats. But I'd listen to this over radio any day. I found I keep trying to make the live chats, but enjoy the catch-up videos all the same. Now that was a great comment, and I told him, I said, yeah, it's them sort of comments that keep me wanting to come back and keep doing it for you. Yeah. Right, where are we up to? Where are we up to? Shout out guests. Right, so now we normally have the guests on, but he's still not messaging me yet, so he's still not home. We are waiting for Mr. Wild Ginger Bruce to join us and grace us with his awesome presence, but he's stuck in traffic. So I'm gonna hit the news. Like always, nearly everything that I've got in the news, I've tried to put in the description down below. So yeah, news. Right, this is devastating. Sheffield Council have decided they wanted to cut down, I think it was something like 70% of the trees in the city. But they've done it really shady. they decided they wanted to repave all the paths, but it was cheaper to repave in straight lines rather than go around trees. So they were just cutting them all down, and they said that there wasn't. And it took a load of grannies out of, I think it was a retirement village, to go and literally chain themselves to these trees to stop the trees being cut down. And I just thought, how can you just decide to just cut down 70% of your city's trees and then try and get away with it and lie and be deceitful at the same time? Oh, what's your thoughts on that, guys? This is where I'd normally be trying to bounce off the guest that's on, but I'm going to have to 17,500 trees step away from the screens. That's just bizarre, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you're not from Sheffield, are you? Or you've just seen the story. Like I said, if anyone wants to go into a bit more detail, the link is down in the description for this one. Lee Jorvik Outdoors says, terrible, it's disgusting. Kent Survivor says, what city was that? It was Sheffield. Hey, we've got Dan, Camp Life Bushcraft, right, mate? Half of all the roadside trees. All right, so I was jumping the gun a bit with 70%, but there we go. Girl Outdoors is a school girl and she's out in the woods on her own. Yeah, but she's not a schoolgirl. She's not like 7, is she? You know, she's obviously capable of looking after herself, and you know, she was out in the snow. And I know most males, the big macho types, didn't get out. So, yeah, too many destruction hurts me to the core. I know what you're saying, Snail. I know what you're saying. Look at my last video. I was I wasn't really in tears, but I was shell shocked when I did my last video when I seen all them trees down in my local town as well. Well, my local camp where I go camping in the woods. Think of the squirrels, think of the wildlife, think of everything, yeah? Think of the air quality, think about bad. Bad. Oh, another topic, like I say, this is a little bit late because we missed the chat last week. But yet again, another homeless man, when we had the base from the east, froze to death. Froze to death. I don't understand how we can be letting homeless people die and be freezing. It's what's your thoughts on that? Yeah, I wonder how they start flooding with all the trees down. Exactly. What's the close forest near Ulsterby within 10 miles? It's now. There's one in Ulsterby, just past the railway crossing as you're leaving towards the truck stop. If you look to the left, there's a forest there. But there is also what do you call it? Is it Hayborough Woods? That's not too far. First, my mate died frozen after getting out of a taxi. Now that was a sad story. That was at Christmas, wasn't it? In fact, I mentioned that in this chat about that lad who got kicked out of the taxi drunk, and then he fell in the dike and died of hypothermia. Andy Gregg says, as a trained civil engineer, as someone trained in civil engineering, I'm responsible for design and supervision of some major projects in my time. Roadside trees cause havoc with underground services, not to mention damage. Well, that's what they had said. That's what the council had said. That was causing damage or thingy. But then the inspectors come in and said there was no damage. So I can understand, obviously, trees can easily cause damage to trees and property and everything else. But these was, that's what the council had said. But on later inspection, it turned out they'd fibbed. Landslides and flooding could be controlled with more trees. They have taken the opportunity to take more than the bad ones. Oh, yeah, exactly, Andy. I agree. Councils can take the moon out of the sky. My favourite place from childhood is the New Forest. If they started cutting that down, I would start chaining myself to the trees. I think the New Forest is protected, isn't it? if it's a woodland, you can't do anything. You can't even if you own a woodland, you can't even build in there, or it's very strict. I think only 4 properties in 7 years or something like that have been allowed to have a building in the woods. But when it's separate trees, they just seem to just cut them down willy-nilly. What else have we got? Right, and this is another shocking one. Not the Thames, the Thames River in Manchester. It's the most polluted river in Europe, and in 1 square meter, and this is where you got to guess. If you know the answer, don't just jump in. But in 1 square meter, how many pieces of plastic do you think they found in 1 square meter of the Thames River in Manchester? How do I delete a comment? Shoot. Evening, late to the party. Hi, Zala. How are you doing? Very strict rules erecting dwellings in Woodland, yeah. Over 1 million, says Andy. Not quite that, mate. Anyone else guesses coming in? How many pieces of plastic found in 1 square meter of many one camp to cover? That's where I spent most of my camping youth. Heaps. Come on, I'll give you a couple of more minutes, everybody. I guess a lot of plastic. 100 to 1,000. Nope, more than that, Snail. I bet over 1 million if they looked on the microscope level. I think it was on a pretty small scale. Oh, Camp Life Bushcraft is closest up to now. 486,000. Swamp Valley, good evening. I'm going to tell you, 517,000. 517,000 plastic particles or plastic items found in 1 square meter. Over 2 million, says Shane. No, 517,000. Is that just not mental or what? Gareth Zoe, 517,000. Hit the nail on the head there, you two. Too late, damn it. What's your thoughts on that then, people? Is that just ridiculous or what? I thought it was a typing error. I thought it was 517 with just a few zeros on. That's outrageous, right? 517,000. I've just returned from India. Could not see the water. Yeah, you got no chance. It's a little scary. Mr. Fraz out and about. Indeed, it is, my man. That's a lot of 10p bags. It's just crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. Sickening. Bit of plastic in where? In this 1 square meter of bank and sludge and everything else. You imagine that's just 1 square meter. The next might have a bit less, but the next one might even have more. After going to my local lake to do some filming last week, it doesn't surprise me, total mess. I kept the sea, I'll get it like that now. Oh, Brendan, nice to see you in here, mate. Yeah, you're right, it is. I think more needs to be done to combat plastic, for sure. And it's all in our bodies. It's got down to such a microscopic level that it's in the krill. The fish eat the krill, other stuff eat the fish, we eat the fish, and everything. We're all just poisoning ourselves with plastic. Who counted them? Not me, that's for sure. Dread the sea. I demand a recount. Okay, what else have we got? Right. Another sad story this week. Another sad story. And and that's all right. It's not us as such, but humans that poached the white rhino out of existence. I mean, the northern white rhino, the last male died this week, and there's only 2 females left in existence. So well done, humans. After it, what's the old bus back for a second? It's never coming back. Never coming back. Got to grow your own food these days, to be sure. We're going to get onto that a little bit, Zala. I'm going to go in. You and John have been mentioned. I need to play some sad violin music. Bit like that. I've got a new thingy board in here, haven't I? Hey, I've got a new soundboard at the side of the mic there. Yeah, to be fair, they say that amount will probably mean more. Great minds, indeed it is. Yeah, so obviously they have taken semen from the rhino, but the problem is both females are direct descendants, so they can't breed them. But there is the southern white rhino where there is some left, so they're going to get a female and the male semen and the eggs and put it in the southern rhino, is where she can be a surrogate mother. But if it doesn't work, with the humans have the humans have trashed these rhinos out of existence. So I just think it's terrible. It's all good, and it's not does this to the world. Yeah, all violin music is sad. Just find out what we're doing to the world. We need to live with these animals, not kill them off. Kev the DJ. Mr. Fraz, yeah, they are. They're taking the steps off, right? What's everyone think of the new lighting, by the way? It's blinding my eyes, but you know, showing up the wrinkles a bit more. I might have to go back to the old lighting. Right, what else have we got? Right, so a bit of confusion before we started, and that's because YouTube have brought out a new. For all of us that have got YouTube channels, well, we all must have because we're commenting off them. There's a section where it says live streaming, and there's a new section that says camera. So I went onto camera earlier to see what it was all about, and it actually just jumps straight into a live stream without Hangouts. So I don't really know what the whatevs. Can't see the grey in my beard. What was I saying? No, I'm not off topic, am I? Oh yeah, YouTube's camera. So what we'll probably do, I've got a photograph of a wedding at the weekend on Saturday. So on Friday night, I might do an ad hoc chat to see what all this new streaming is about. This new thing. Obviously, I can't get too drunk, so I've got to be up here in the morning. I don't want shaky hands shooting a wedding. I've got a nice shine on my head, the old cue ball, yeah. So yeah, if everyone wants to be about on Friday, we'll have an ad hoc chat and see what all this new system is about. But it looks like it's a lot easier and quicker to just jump into a live stream without creating events, without Hangouts and all the rest of it. So that's what that thing was. I was just so I could give you an idea what it was about. I clicked and clicked and clicked, and all of a sudden it was wanting to put me in a live stream, and people sat there waiting for it to start. So sorry about all that. I'm glad you will come over to the right side of the chat. So what we had? I've had Sheffield, yeah. Governance man, plastic. Yeah. So I've got one news story that I want to get into. But I've got two things. Well, one that's related to Zara as well, but the other one, I want to just give a mention while I've got your attention. Mention for the attention. Zala is working with Paul Dore at the minute to bring his leather shop, his leather courses into Leicester. Zala's been on one the other day. What it is, Paul, basically for the price of the actual item, he'll give you make it yourself, and he gives you full tuition and provides everything you need, and sits there and gives you expert advice. And yeah, everyone go over to the Facebook, and I'll reshare, or Zala will reshare on the Facebook group. And I think, Zala, correct me if I'm wrong, is it £60? Which the product by itself is worth that. So anyone that's interested in leather or improving leather, you can go over to Leicester if you're about. We just do other places as well. Under Paul Dore's expertise, and you can get yourself a nice little Viking pouch. Okay, so I really do need Brucey Boy to be here, so I'm just going to go back up the comment to make sure I've not missed out important. Right, oh my god. So good, Andy. So good, Andy. Natalie's dad lives here, so we're down once or twice a year. Can't even see my arrow down key. Idea to replicate species from ages ago, get DNA for it and send a second bound. Genetically modified rhinos next. We were just saying to each other the light looks anemic. Yeah, it's a bit harsh, isn't it? It helps the camera, you see. I'm hoping it, when it renders into a video, that it's a bit sharper, because it was looking terrible, to be honest. Can you add guests on this new feature? I've not tried that yet. I can add them, but whether they're on screen or not, I don't know. I'm used to seeing a hangout screen, but you don't get that on it. You just get a smaller screen. Oh no, I'm just here. I need to go. Catch you later, folks. Yeah, see you later, Swamp. Sounds good, Kev. If you do one, I'll try it and jump on for 10 minutes. Yeah, nice one, Lee. Yeah, got weather news. Been cancelled, Andy. No news on Beast of the East 2. It's been and gone, hasn't it? We're waiting for number 3 now. White Easter, all Easter. Billy better not be. It is £60 coming down from home to do it. He's very, very skilled. He is indeed. Welcome, Karen. Every time it snowed this year, has coincided with my days off for annual leave. Just bought some stuff off Paul. Yeah, well, I know people know that I dabble in leather from time to time, and they're always asking me. But honestly, the price of the item, you know, of what you're getting, is the same price as the gig or the event, and you're getting, you know, you want to make it yourself, so you know, you can go and do something like that, see if you like it, without spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds on loads of tools. And if you do like it, then you can think about getting some tools that way. I think it's a great idea. In fact, if it wasn't coinciding with when I'm not around, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd go down and sit with Zala and that as well. I have Vimto jelly beans. Sweet. If we manage to get up and see you, John, in a couple of weeks, I'll bring you some of them, what they're called. Them bamboozle jelly beans that me and Lily did the other day. Did you see that video, John? I think it's on Lily's channel. Where you get them. We're working on bacon flavoured porridge. Yep, I've seen that. Kev dabbles in leather. Sounds so wrong. Karen's off on Tuesday. Expect the next Ice Age. Nice. It's going to mess my plans up for the Lake District if it dumps a load of snow on us again. Step away from the screens. Yep. Going to get my milk and bread in then. I think that's why they keep doing it. They make these warnings, the shops sell out, so they keep just making more and more warnings just so they could keep the economy flowing. Call out, yeah, I've seen. They flog trail cams on Wish. Don't know what quality is like, but they are cheap. I've just got a drone from there. I'm hoping to set the drone up to the Lake District to get some aerial footage up in the hills and stuff like that, but it'll probably come and burn the motor out if it even gets delivered. I need to get back to the lakes at some point. I missed that place, says Andy Ragg. I make a point of getting up there every spring. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the place. My favourite place in the whole world is Lake District. 2020, there's apparently an Ice Age 2. I thought there's already an Ice Age 2 and an Ice Age 3. Have you used a trail cam, Kev? If you did, would you record Paul by accident? No, unless Paul was sneaking around the woods in the middle of the night. I don't know what that means. Zala's just posted a link. Well done, Zala. Should have said that at the beginning, shouldn't I? Taking people away from the chat to go find the channel. Been checking on the Unique Breeze drone. Looks really good and affordable. Weather warnings to sell products. That's very funny. But grabbing them out for a hat right now. 5 Ice Age. There you go. If burn the motor oil, I'll get off by a flying jet. The other thing is birds of prey, or even not birds of prey, keep attacking these drones, don't they? Sorry, that porridge. I thought you had sorted the porridge. Says Clangerbound. Andy Ragg. I went for about 5 years on the bounce when I was a teenager, as my folks went for the Christian convention. Yeah, I mean, when I get up there, I like to stay up there for a bit. I'm going up there for a wild camp on Good Friday, and going up with Gareth Zoe, then hopefully see John. But when I get up there, I like to stay up there for a bit. But like I did when me and Paul went. Me and Paul went for 7 days last summer. It's a good drive for me though. It's like a good 4-hour drive. So when you're up there, I like to stay up there. Busy in the man shed processing fatwood stinks. With power cord through them to give them out of the northeast meet this Saturday. Nice one, Wes. David's to nothing. Isle of Arran lads, get on it. Isle of Arran. I'm telling you what, they're getting some beautiful auroras up there at the minute, aren't they? Just keep seeing pictures from Scotland of all this auroras. I could do it in the summer holidays. I could go up to Scotland and spend a good bit of time out there and hopefully see it, but it's the worst time of year. I think the best time is between November and March, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm there in the middle of August, it's going to be caca. But then again, I'm in Sweden, maybe. Fingers crossed I get to see a bit of a light show when I'm in Sweden. That squirrel's still not got the acorn, bless it. Better going for the DJI Spark, great cheap drone. Doing the lakes in October, we'll sneak in a camp. Nice. Where is Paul, Mr. Nomad? I don't know, to be fair. I don't know. He's working there. Maybe he's at work or he's tired. The old lad. Yeah, well, I've got a really cheap drone and I'm just going to see. Literally, it's not much bigger than some smartphones. I just want to see what it's like. See if I'm any good with it. Yeah, well. There's weird Romo in the Northern Lights at the moment. Have you seen this? No. Jess says not as cheap as mine. No. Jess got a DJI Mavic for free. I told him it was mine and that I'll just pay for the return sending to come back, but he didn't want it. Kev, I saw the woods where you and Lily go camping. It was disgusting what the person has done. Yeah, devastating. And it goes even further than I even knew. It goes literally as far as the eye can see. That the whole boundary of the whole woods has been done. We just text Mr. Nomad to remind him. Nice one, guys. Nice one. I just hope Bruce hasn't been rushing about and put his car in the tree. Come on, Bruce. Come on, Bruce. Where are you? Okay, well, I'm going to get into this next story then. Yeah, it's so the other day on one of these groups as well, someone was on about I'm not going to mention names because that's not fair. Yeah, someone was on about our John with the suckling piglet, and I got into a bit of an argument. Well, not an argument, but I was just proving my point with someone on Facebook. You know, we can all get a bit keyboard warrior-ish, and it was on about the suckling piglet and is it not right? A hog roast is fine, but you shouldn't eat a piglet. So obviously this started a bit of a debate, and everyone's sticking their whole 2 pence worth in. And I said, well, what's the difference? It's still pig. It's just smaller. You know, I mean, we know there's people that breed certain animals to eat eggs. You know, and we got into the old detached from food. And obviously, Bruce being an ex-butcher and everything, he's got some interesting, background and everything into where, you know, proper meats and where it comes from and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I said, well, John's one of my mates. I'm going to show him, you know, show him what you've been saying and blah blah blah, and whatever. You know, I'm not. I also told them I was going to do it because I'm not going to go running and, you know, tittle-tattling. I told them I was going to do it. You know, John being John obviously just laughed it off and called them all idiots and all the rest of it. But yeah, I'm just waiting for Bruce because it'll make an interesting thing. But I know sometimes other people have got into trouble, and it's just when I've got friends like, you know, Zoe, who's a vegetarian and vegan, you know, bringing me Christmas 7 kilogram joints of beef, and she prepares food. I don't understand how people can get on the high horse. I don't understand, for one, how you can do bushcraft and have a problem with, you know, preparing meat to eat, right? And if you're a vegetarian, then maybe. But most of these people that was going off on it, they said, yeah, bacon butt is fine. Well, it's still a pig. You know, it's still a pig. Just because it was probably small and cute, it's still a pig. You're still happy eating pig. You know, and then you want to be running your mouth off and, you know, trying to get everyone's back up because it's cute. People like to bitch and get wordy. Well, we all can, can't we? We can all do it. We can all, you know, get a bit mouthy like I can right now, or I can when I'm on the end of the keyboard. But, you know, this is why I told him. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell John. And I pre-warned him I was going to do it. So I didn't get called a little runabout, a little tittle-tail, or whatever you want to call it. Poor piglet, says Lee. It's just me. Why can I be so? There was, and this is one of the things I said. There was the recent. I think I've said it in the chat before. A recent study of school kids, and 80% of them didn't know that milk come from a cow. You know, how can we be so detached from food? You're fine to go and have a bit of, you know, a bit of lamb curry from the Indian takeaway, or a fish from the fish and chip shop, or whatever. Someone cooks a pig, it's got an apple in its gob and it's still got his head on. You're all going mental. Aha, was good. I stand by my reply, says John. It does indeed. I know, Zala, this is why I didn't want to sort of mention names, but I know you've had stick before, you know, from bushcrafters. I can just, it makes no sense. People were saying if you're in a survival situation, it'd be all right. But then I have to remind people that John got the pig from the butchers. He didn't actually trap it and kill it. It was a butcher's piglet. So it's driving me mad anyway. It really just drives me mad when people want to attack my fence for stupid reasons. Sky Blue, do you ever invite other peeps? I don't even know what I was saying about. Cheers, Sky Blue. You're disappointed. I don't know what it means. We invite people with silicon close friends, but you can normally but not normally complete strangers. Especially when other members are bringing young children. Nothing better than catching your own mate and cook it up in the woods. I'm on your side, but obviously others ain't. Bushcraft to me is like learning to thrive, and how can you thrive in a woodland theme or anything if you haven't got the skills to catch and then prepare and then cook what you've caught? Don't make sense. Has anyone tried raw meat? I've tried it loads and loved it. I've had raw beef and raw deer at one of the shows. I like baby pigs, and vegans and vegetarians like baby carrots. You need to kill them both to eat them. Yeah, no, you don't. Ian don't preach, just doing everything. Yeah, but this is what we were saying. This was the whole point of everything we were saying. Just what's wrong with people this day and age? Not live and let live and let live. That's the way I was brought up. Live and let live. Same with religion. Same with me and Gareth was slating me the other day about the flat earth thing. Gareth's not going to unfriend me because I believe in a different thing about the earth. You just live and let live. So there we go. Baby carrots are really cute. How can you rip them out of the ground and eat them? I'm offended. Spit roast. Let's start a roast with a spit on it. I can drive 120-mile round trip to buy salt marsh lamb straight from the farmer. See, dedication to the cause. Each their own, meat or not meat. We live in a society where we can choose. I'm all for choice and do as you see fit. Just don't get aggressive as others don't agree. Exactly. Sky Blue, my name is Melanie. I eat most things and I'm hungry. I need to eat. I won't hesitate to kill and butcher an animal. Yeah. Yeah. Like I say, it's more about like the bushcraft side of things. It's more about learning the skills to do it. Like the farmer asked me, there was a real shortage of rabbits in the woods, and he says, "Well, you take them, don't you?" I says, "Never. You've never given us permission to do that, so we've never done it." I said, "There's a co-op a couple of miles down the road." I said, "I just go there and get a steak." But now that I was wanted in the woods where we go to practice making traps and everything, because we never had permission to trap. Then I thought, if he walked in and I'm setting a trap, he's going to think I'm trying to poach. And I never wanted that. People wouldn't, in my opinion, I was getting a bit worried that no one would believe me. I'm only setting a trap to practice setting the trap. I don't want to actually take any, kill anything. I just want to know that I have the skill set to do it. Most people won't believe you, right? What are you setting that trap for? Well, for just a bit of practice. Norfolk boy Carlos, kids today think meat comes from supermarkets, not animals. Exactly. In that same study I was on about with the meat, with the milk, the kids were saying when the women was asking them where does chicken come from, they were saying Tesco's. Literally, that's just reminded me when you said that. Carlisle likes to eat vegans and vegetarians. I won't put it past him. I'm a full carnivore and eat veg and fruit. I'm fat and I just like everything. Just get in my belly. Sky blue, Melanie, is it? My kids love ferreting, raise climbing and beating. They're taught that the quarry is either dead or alive. If you're not confident of the dispatch, then don't attempt it. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, you know, it's like same again. It's learning the skills to dispatch quickly and humanely. I'm of the opinion that if I eat meat, I should take full responsibility for its life and welfare. Eating cheap supermarket meat is a cop-out, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. It's like a, what do you call it? MCQ. You know, he gets a lot of grief for hunting his meat, but he only eats meat that is caught. If he shoots a pigeon down, that's his pigeon. You know, if he shoots a rabbit, that's what he's having. The pheasant, you know, and I like that. He won't eat meat unless he's caught it, and I respect that. You know, it's not easy to catch meat, and sometimes you come home and you've not caught. And up until the moment of its death, that was having the time of its life. You know, compare that to a battery hen or something. I think that's. We all couldn't do it. That's the sorry state of affairs is we all couldn't live like that. It's just not be possible. Shane, Kev, I keep chickens and rabbits to eat. Yeah, fair play to you, dude. A lot of vegans and vegetarians have some major attitude problems. So do meat eaters. Please don't put either of us in that bracket. No, exactly, yeah. That's it. It's like, I don't know. Could be anything. As long as people are not pushing your face in it, do you know what I mean? It could be anything. Pigeon is one of my favourite meats. Yeah. You're not like that at all, Zoe? No, not at all. Sean Hinchcliffe, hello, mate. Hi, people are too detached from their food. Yeah, kids at school are deriving lessons where food comes from. Are you not killing for one a tray? That's exactly. You must have been watching the same report I read. Me workmate turned vegan and ate for 20 years. Now on Facebook calling everyone murderers and rapists for eating meat and drinking milk. Do you mean wood pigeon? Step away from the screens. Yeah, wood pigeon. You won't want to eat a town pigeon, a feral pigeon, and I thought fag butts and all sorts of other stuff in it. Mr. Fraz out and about. Okay, guys, I have to go out. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Fresh wood pigeon tastes like steak. Yes. As a veggie, I did find myself wondering how much meat was on a pigeon the other day. Karen, yeah, you get two little fillets off the pigeon breast. It's nice. You can only get the breast though. There's nothing else. Had hair at the weekend. I don't think I've had hairs on. There you go. Step away from the screen. Set it there. Yeah, you won't want to eat a feral pigeon after a Friday night. Get the breast, Karen. It's lovely. I'm in the Wild West. People ate their horses. Saddled to stay alive. When food was scarce, or there was a vegetarian option, death. I jest. My father was a veggie. Or just eat what you like, no need for comment. Yeah, it's got to be each to their own, and just let live and let live. My opinion, if you're offended by something, the other one that has the problem, it's you that's offended. I've always thought that. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. That's the other part of that. So what time are we on? 10 o'clock. No sign of Bruce yet. Come on, Bruce. We love you. Let's have you. We'll be tasting squirrel on Saturday for the first time. I'm looking forward to it. Not a lot of meat on squirrel, I hear, but if you have a squirrel out of a hazelnut wood, a hazel tree wood, what's been feeding on hazelnuts, it's supposed to just taste like hazelnut. Yeah, there's a lot of work to not a lot of meat in the squirrel. I'm struggling now. I'm struggling for content, boys and girls. Let's have a look. 36 viewers. That means we should have at least 36 likes, right? 28. Oh, what? Come on, people. Let's smash the like button and have a little like spike before Mr. Ginger Bruce comes. Time to go, says Dan. Thanks for having me. Snuck a whole can of beer from your dad. Don't be sneaking whole cans of beer from your dad. And don't be doing it while you're watching me and then telling everyone on my bus. Never fancied it. 31, we're getting up there. We're still 6 off though. Tasted a bit nutty. Do you think we should be promoting the eating school as a way of reducing the grey population? I think anything that's cute, people don't really want to eat it. And definitely don't want to think about be doing the work themselves. I had some issues in the Bushcraft world for being vegan about 2 years ago, but since then, nothing, barely ever gets. Very fun. So, Ian, did you recently turn to vegan? Is it veganism? Is that even a word? Vegan? To becoming a vegan? But I'm not sure how much of a prepper you've got in you. But if a shit fan situation arose and you needed it for survival, would it not be nice as part of your bushcraft skill set to know how to do it so you can ensure your own survival, shall we say? I'm not an expert, Michael, but wild garlic is easy to find and put some flavour in some otherwise bland root vegetables. Yeah, wild garlic's easy to find. You don't even, your nose will tell you when you found it. I like to satay squirrel, just seems right. If I ever get a camping with you, stay away from the screens, we'll try it. I had shark before Kev, it was nice. Being vegan for 4 years. I was known as the squirrel while in the army on account. I like to bear in mind. I'm not carrying on with that one. You nearly had me, didn't you? Nearly had me. Step, nearly got me. Yeah, young wild garlic can look like macula, which is poisonous. Yeah, but you have to twist the leaf and you can smell it. Go, bud. Enjoyed the time here. See you tomorrow, Kev. You're going to tell me before you leave who you are. Just my head in not knowing. I want to learn to prep animals. Watch Steve prep pheasant at Camp Stupid. See, this is the thing. Like Lee. Like the Bushcraft show gets a bad name. This is it. You could learn so many different. There's more like the squirrel, rabbit, deer, pheasant, plus baking breads and all the rest of it. There's all them sort of things on at the Bushcraft show. You could just sit there literally from one stall to the other, just learning all that. So when like the Bushcraft show gets a bad rep for being expensive, nearly every single one of them would probably be free to sit there and watch and learn. Zed was commenting on one of our videos yesterday, didn't know he was a pagan. Pagan? Does he mean vegan? High kept squirrel, nice to eat. Yeah, it's just always seemed, like I say, it just always seemed like a lot of work for not a lot of meat. Might be nice, all the same. Were we going to be Bushcraft show one day from Edo? If I was going to die, I would kill animals. I would not die, but as now I don't need to. But that would be the only way, be in the winter. In some of most locations, I have loads of green wild edibles. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mean whether you would eat an animal. I'm sure you would, or die. I mean, if you didn't already have the skills, even as a vegan, would you practice the skills? If that makes sense. Maybe I worded it wrong there, Ian. The upset the other day. Slips in at the back. There we are, Flatbreak Frank. Evening, buddy. See Wes. Where's Wes going? Oh, yeah, got to pick the doors up. Yeah, see you later, Wes. I've done many survival courses in the past. Flatbreak Frank. Hi, Kev. You can get black squirrels. See one. Black squirrels? Oh, that's Albion Camping. We were talking about you earlier. All bad. Yeah, I've done tracking courses, survival course, and being out with friends who are hunters years ago. I want to practice the skills as I don't eat meat, but I do know how to cook meat and cook on a fire. Is my bus okay now? Bus is fine. Bus is fine. Yes, mate. Have a Google. Have a Google. I don't know, Zala. It is that. There we are, then. We're all learning stuff. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. So, anyone getting out of the weekend then? I've already said that I want to do more foraging. Wild Ginger Bruce. Hello, Mr. Bruce. There you are. Let's get a link here for Mr. Bruce. I was trying hard not to mention the news, Bruce, but I couldn't help it. The chat was getting a bit stale. I was looking for stuff to do and say. Bruce. Excuse me. I'm just all right. Excuse me, everybody. This is a little bit ignorant. Just trying to get the link out there so Bruce can join us. Late as Andy, or am I missing someone leaving? Maybe Ken. Bruce, Linky, yeah, it's been sent, dude. Andy Rag, I've got to go play nice. Everyone, see you later. Yeah, see you later, Andy. Hoping to get out. Destination isn't certain. I've got a photograph a wedding. I'm not getting out anywhere. Not getting out anywhere. I really wanted to as well. I'm working at the weekend in the woods, not sure. we're doing yet, though. Bye, Andy. Hey, it's Bruce.
Can you hear me?
Is he it?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, very quiet.
Okay. How's that? Is that better?
And I can turn you up a little bit. Turn you on. Right. Can I? Where's that?
Right, it's me.
Try again.
Okay, how's that? Is that better?
Oh, still quiet. I can turn you up on something else too. Hang on.
That's right. Turn me up on. Is that? No, that's down. No, I've got everything wound up as high as it'll go. Hello.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a lot louder.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, right. What have I missed?
Well, we've been hanging on. I was kind of hoping you've not wrapped your car around a tree.
Yeah,
So,
I don't.
we've been talking obviously about people being detached from food, and it was on about your background as a butcher and a bushcrafter.
Yep.
I'm sure you've got some interesting facts for us.
Yeah, not too bad. So yeah, what do you want to know? Where to start? So I've literally just run in the dog.
Okay, so
all the slip roads were shut, and it was just a nightmare. So,
did you hear? Did you hear about obviously the stuff that was going on where someone was saying stuff about John on Facebook? So I just tagged him in it, and it was the piglet thing again. You know when John had the
yeah. Because it was the suckling pig, and someone was crying about it. But at the end of the day, it would have been a boar.
Yeah.
And they're no good because they don't reproduce as well. Don't have as much meat on them. You know, it's the same with like dairy cows. If as soon as a boy is born, they only need one bull on a farm, so they go off. They all go off to be veal because it's cheaper than paying loads of money to grow them into adults that are not going to be worth anything. It's unfortunately that's the way the system is. Unless you could genetically choose what sex you wanted, but then people would go mad about that as well. So it's unfortunately, if you're going to eat animals, it's a no-win situation. So
the guy that said it quite clearly said, "Oh my God, it's a pig. It's a piglet.
yeah,
No problem. It'd be no problem if it was a hog. I've no problem if it was a hog roast." I'm like, what's the same animal?
same animal. Yeah, it's just because it's young and it's cute. That's all it is. You know, it's just one of those things. You can't eat anything that's cute. You know.
Yeah. This was my words before you come on. Exactly the same.
Yeah, and I like we are completely disassociated with all meat now because everything is burgers and nuggets, and it doesn't look like meat. You know, butcher shops used to have the big signs, like my logo, the pig with the cuts on it. Used to have those big signs in the butchers. Well, no, we don't have them anymore in butcher shops because that makes you think about the animal and the welfare, and so they're trying to disassociate us from that it was a walking around animal, which is terrible, really, because you know there's no education there. It's quite sad. So everyone's just eating processed meat, and then you know, and not knowing where it comes from, not appreciating it. The amount of times I see kids eat things like eat all the chips, even eat the vegetables, and leave the meat, and you're like, something died to put that on your plate, dude. Are you going to eat that? And it's like, oh well, I'm full up now. It's like, but you ate chips over that. It's crazy. You know, and then when there's other sources of protein out there, like obviously soy, which is a big one for vegetarians and vegans and stuff. That needs to be, it's not grown in this country. So the carbon footprint of importing soy is pretty significant.
Yeah.
You've got things like the corn. Have you ever looked into how corn is made?
No.
Don't. So basically, because if you read the ingredients, it says fungi. So you
Yeah.
think it's like mushroom because mushroom's quite meaty. Well, yeah, it technically is a mushroom.
Yeah,
But
fleshy.
it's basically grown in these massive silos, and it's just gunge. It's just like this white, grey gunge that pours out of these huge silos. Now, if they wasn't charging the same price as meat for it, it could be like an answer to world hunger because it's quite a good thing. You know, it's really good in protein, like they say in the things. But they're charging the same price, so it's just blatant profiteering, which is irritating. And the other thing is because it's a mushroom, there's quite a lot of people who are allergic to it as well.
Right.
And a lot of it isn't vegan friendly because it's got eggs in it. They put egg in it as a binder. They do a vegan one now, but not many people bother reading labels and they just think, oh, it's vegan, and they eat it. And yeah, so and then the option that I prefer, that I ecologically prefer, is insects. Insects are really, really quick to grow. Things like mealworms and locusts and all that sort of stuff. They could grind it all down into a powder, and you can buy like protein powders now.
Mm-hmm.
So why they're not doing like protein powder nuggets and protein powder? Because everything now, anything with protein written on it now is doubled in price. Have you noticed that? There's things like peanut butter now has got protein slapped across it, and there's like high protein Weetabix and high protein like Nutella stuff, and you're like, what? I saw some high protein Snickers the other day, and someone gave me one because he said, I've tried one of these and they're absolutely horrible, and it was pretty vile, but they'd added extra protein to it. But insect protein can be grown in your own house if you managed it right. There's no carbon footprint, and like you think of all the like whey protein and stuff that bodybuilders use. If they were using insect protein, it would be a lot better. But but there's always options for protein. So when you do have actual proper meat, it shouldn't be this processed tat that's reclaimed meat. It was a saying that they coined a few years ago. And reclaimed meat is basically you get a pile of bones and pressure wash it and then pick all the bits out the plug hole. It's reclaimed, and then that goes into burgers and nuggets and all that sort of stuff. It's like, so you just get a massive, great mountain of chicken carcasses and blast all the meat off the bone, and then sweep it into a pile. There you go. There's your nuggets.
The thing is, though, when you ask a kid where does chicken come from, and they say Tesco's, because but they are that detached from food.
Yeah.
Do you really think we're going to get them same kids to eat a locust burger?
Exactly. That's how it needs to be. But then if the celebrities were pushing it and saying, this is a solution, this is cheaper, that's the easy way of doing it. Mm-hmm. Like, so Tesco's, right, got in, and other supermarkets got in lots of trouble for putting horse meat in burgers. Yeah, big loads of drama, right? So what was the problem with that?
Because we're eating Black Beauty.
No, because you're paying for beef and you've been given a horse burger, right? So the only reason horse is in there because it's cheaper than beef. So why don't they sell horse burgers? Why not?
Just because they won't do it, because the same again with the rabbits and everything else. We're eating Black Beauty, and we're just
yeah. But if it's that much cheaper, if you were going to do a barbecue for your mates, and there was a packet of 8 horse burgers for £3 and a packet of 8 beef burgers for £6, which one are you going to pick up?
Me, I'm tight, so I'm having horse.
Exactly. And the horse was subsidising the beef burgers. So why not just say, look, let's try to sell some horse burgers, and then the poorer people who are lacking protein in their diet and they're eating all this processed crap, can get a decent meal and have some proper meat, because this England is one of the few countries where you've got poor fat people because they can't afford to eat properly, because you've got people eating pizzas every night because you can buy pizza for 99p in Iceland. It's not good for you, but there's no option. You can have something nice, but only a little bit of it and be hungry, or you could have a whole pizza to yourself and at least be full up. It's not healthy, but at least you're full up.
Yeah, you ain't got no stomach pains.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a terrible situation, but there's too much profit being made from viable alternatives. And so there was a thing on Netflix about apple pies. It says if you wanna eat an apple pie, right, from the freezer in the supermarket, that is made with the absolute cheapest ingredients because they're competing against other apple pie sellers. Granted, yeah, it's got extra additives and preservatives and stuff because it's for the shelf life and it doesn't want to lose colour when it's in the freezer. And so it's made with the cheapest products. It's added a load of chemicals to it, and you haven't worked to work those calories off. So you get your apple pie, you cook it, you eat it, you end up fat. If you went out and picked the apples and made the flour and made the apple pie, you've used those calories. So eat as many apple pies as you bloody like, and that's the difference. But it is more expensive to make your own apple pie. It's probably more expensive to buy the pastry to make the apple pie than it is to buy one. And that's just insane.
Yeah.
But
well, I know it when I'm having my little health binges and think, right, I'm cutting right now. Because Lily's a fussy eater.
Yeah.
For me to do like a shop for me, and then I have to do basically do a separate shop for her. And we just, being a single parent family, we can't do it. There's no way. And it is hard. So I think you're exactly right, and you've hit the nail on the head a bit.
Yeah, and like they're saying in the side chat that the global warming caused by all the methane in the cows, because there's like the biggest animal on the planet, not the biggest animal, the biggest population of animals is chickens. I think there's like 10 chickens to every head of population. It's just ridiculous amounts, and they're all eating and feeding and pooping and giving off methane, and then cows giving off methane. Texas, the amount of cattle in Texas is ridiculous, and methane is a greenhouse gas. And plus, you've got 7.5 billion people to feed. It's just mad why we're still relying on sort of outdated sources of meat. And even before the war, most meals were things like chips and egg, or even it was like a semi-vegetarian diet. It'd be like cheese and biscuits would be a meal, or cheese and bread, would be a meal. But because we had rationing, meat was very, very rare, as in, there wasn't a lot around. So as soon as rationing stopped after the war, everyone's like, oh, let's get as much meat. Let's buy a big joint of beef. Let's have roast dinners every night of the week. And we're still in that mindset of, I have to have meat every day of the week. And it's like, oh, I feel weird if I haven't got a slice of ham or a gammon steak or a pork chop or whatever, which is odd. Really, we should go being, just for a health thing, if we went veggie 2 days a week, and they were saying about the mental health crisis because not many people eat fish because of the omega-3 acids, fatty acids and stuff in fish. is good for your brain, but they're talking about a lot of people having depression and senile dementia from never eating fish ever. So it's weird.
Yeah. Well, you wasn't here, but I was sort of said about MCQ's sort of ethos, where he's vegetarian unless he's shot the meat and caught it or caught it himself.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
He doesn't eat it.
Yeah.
But if he's out with his gun and he shoots it and then he eats it, and that's the only meat he gets. He doesn't do shot bought, And if he doesn't catch, he doesn't eat.
Yep.
We can't all do that, unfortunately. It's just not viable to be walking around London with a shotgun.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little ethos, and fair play to him for that.
Yeah. No, I like that. But he's got facility to go out and he can fill a freezer up in a day, and that's him sorted for ages. Step away from the screen says they were doing tests on kangaroos. Yeah, kangaroos have got a special gut bacteria that doesn't produce as much gas, if or any. I think they burp up most of the gases when they digest stuff because they eat like roughage. And so most vegetarians, because the amount of silica in grass, they have to bring it back up, chew the cud, and then redigest it a couple of times. So that's probably where the methane is built up, where you're having a double digest. But I've heard of the kangaroos that they don't fart.
No, I never had, so
yeah, but it's to do with the gut bacteria that they've got, and they're trying to splice these gut bacteria to get them to go into cattle, which is a good idea. So they're also talking about lab grown meat as well. They actually grew like a burger in a lab from stem cells. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Well, they grew some meat and they made it into a burger, and they reckon people can't tell the difference. But if it's grown in a lab, is that technically vegan? Because it never lived, it was never alive. I don't know. It's just a big ethical. Bleh. I don't
know. No, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it sounds disgusting, but it sounds disgusting, but it's getting your head around it, But at the moment, we're consuming way too much, and we're causing so much damage. Looking after hundreds of heads of cattle that are not really necessary environmentally. So.
But on the flip side to that,
Mm-hmm.
how much are we chucking away though as well? Because I know that the statistics on that are outrageous, full, and I can hold my hands up. There's plenty of times that I've gone to some minced beef or something in the fridge, and it's sometimes when it's been in there for so long, the packet expands, doesn't it? It's gone out of full, and are we?
Yeah, well, you got things like Stilton. Stilton, it takes 2 years for Stilton to mature, and then you put it into a supermarket and it's got a month's sell-by date on it. It's ridiculous. They dug up a wheel of cheese near Stonehenge somewhere, this massive wheel of cheese, and it was still edible, and it was like 500 years old.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Lane's saying about vegans don't eat meat. I know some people that are 100% vegan, but they will eat roadkill because it was going to die and return to nature anyway. But everyone's got their own personal preference, because you've got like vegetarians, and then was it pescatarian who will eat some fish, and but there's so many different facets of it, and it's just how far you want to press it. So.
Swan Valley, I'd eat a lab burger, no stranger than a Rustler's burger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Once you get your head around it. But the thing is, it needs to be cheaper. Corn, right? If corn was half the price of meat, they would sell tons of it. People would be tripping over themselves to get the protein into the diet. It's better for you. It's more healthy. There's less fat. It's got the protein. It's all good. Okay, it's mush out of a silo, but they could dominate the market.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't, because they're being greedy. Same with insect protein at the moment, because there's not any of the big boys on board, it's still expensive. But
Well,
yeah,
to tell you what, I fancied the other day. I don't eat it very often, but I really fancied it the other day with some corned beef.
oh yeah, I love corned beef.
Oh, but God, isn't that expensive for a tin of that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's a weird one. Talking about corned beef, most corned beef comes from Argentina. And Argentinians are actually genetically different to the rest of the human race because it's lots and lots of grassland. They've got a lot of cattle, and they don't hardly eat that much like vegetables and stuff. If they can scrape together a little bit, but their diet is something like 90% meat. And I've seen programs, they'll get like a whole forequarter of a cow, like a quarter of the front of a cow, stick a load of big sticks in it, and just light a bonfire underneath it, and just sit there carving bits off for a couple of days. But they literally eat so much meat, it's bonkers. So, I'm still reading through.
Right, first.
Yeah,
Night, Karen.
yeah. Saying about vegans not eating palm oil. Palm oil, that's another dodgy one. It's like Nutella. Nutella's something like 25% palm oil, and that's what they're cutting down all the rainforest for. And just to make Nutella. And you look at all chocolate spreads; they've all got it in. They're all just as guilty. It's not just Nutella, but it's in loads of stuff. If you pick up anything with palm oil in, and there's like ethically sourced palm oil, they started slipping in some products now as well, which is a bit of a cop out. But yeah, palm oil, nasty stuff. Kills orangutans. They're like related. So
right, let's. Can we jump onto the rhino as well? I know you was.
yeah, the rhino's going extinct. I've got a bit of WWF, not the World Wrestling Federation. The other ones who like to save they've ploughed so much money into saving the pandas, and there's quite a few people who've said, look, if pandas don't want to breed, because that's the big problem with them, you should just let them go extinct. And then if there's another animal where you've got a chance of saving it, invest in that. And there's quite a lot of ugly, non-cute animals that have been left to go extinct over a panda, which is bizarre, because something like a rhino, that's a significant animal rather than some fluffy thing that sits chewing bamboo all day, Same with elephants. Elephants' populations is sort of going up, and then as soon as they start going up, there's like a massive cull on them. It's terrible. But they're now talking about changing the ivory trade as well now. But actually, interestingly, do you know why pandas don't breed?
No.
No?
Right. I'm sure I've heard it not so long back.
So pandas, they mate, and then the female will hold on to the sperm until she is happy enough and like nice and relaxed and everything's all right. Then she will conceive afterwards when she's happy and there's plenty of food around. So usually they would breed like at the end of the summer. During the winter, she's not going to make herself pregnant because there's not as much food around. And then once all the new shoots of the bamboo start coming through, she goes, oh, right, here comes the shoots. I'll make myself pregnant. And then, but obviously in captivity or if in like a deforested area, they're never going to be happy. So they're going to not conceive. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Blackbird Frank says they're lazy as well because they actually are carnivorous, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they only sit in the bamboo fields because they're lazy, but they actually will eat rodents. They're still a bear at the end of the day. If it was hungry enough, it would take a human.
Yeah.
Because they're lazy and they eat what's the one, they just sit there eating bamboo.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to be happy. I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And deer are exactly the same. So you've got monkjack, which are a really primitive deer, but something like a red deer. The males eat as much as they can all year to get the biggest antlers. Then they rut at the end of the summer to who's got the breeding rights. Then they breed. The female will hold on to the sperm, especially like now because we're having an extra long winter and not the plants are a bit. So she's holding on to that sperm. Once spring kicks off proper, she will then conceive and then have the babies in the spring, and then they will eat as much as they can to grow their antlers, and then it rolls on again. Whereas you'd think if they were a sensible animal, they would have their baby, they would mate in the spring, have their babies in the spring, and carry on like that. But they rut at the end of the summer because they're trying to get as much muscle and because just to grow antlers, the amount of protein and food in general that a deer has to eat is ridiculous just to grow bigger antlers than anyone else. It's crazy.
Night, Zala. Zala's just leaving.
Night, Zala.
I was going to say, is it true as well then that we shouldn't be, the antlers that we find after the rutting?
Yep.
We shouldn't be taking them because I got told it's nearly all the calcium that the deer get in the diet is through eating the.
They do chew. They do chew on them, and people give them to dogs as well as dog chews. They can splinter a bit, but I've seen them. Kangaroos have a spare fetus up the chute while the joey is growing. Yeah, because kangaroos are actually very similar to deer, although they're marsupials, but they're quite similar. They're very lean meat. But yeah, but there was a whole thing of like eating kangaroo and eating ostrich, and they're all leaner and better, and it's all kind of fizzled out because nobody wanted to eat ostrich, which is silly, really, because it was quite a good meat.
Yeah, I had it. I remember Iceland was doing a big thing about it, and I went and tried it all. I don't know how difficult it all was, but I did go and try it.
Yeah, but people are just stuck in their ways and they don't want to try anything new. So yeah, it's just sad, really. And it's like if you go to America, you'll see loads and loads of pork, loads and loads of beef, and then probably about six lamb chops and a bit of a leg. But they're not big on lamb, And in other countries, they're really big on goat, and we don't really get goat in this country unless we go to a specialist butcher's. So it's very weird. It's right. Flatboat French comment made me laugh. That's not right. Yeah.
Slap it on the front of your car, Swamp, says Zoe, now being camping, and that must be about to school.
Yeah. So we've done meat to death. But yeah, the ethical sourcing of meat, and when you do get proper meat, you should respect it and cook it properly, and just stay away from all the processed stuff. It's just, I'm just as bad. I still have a processed stuff. There was another one as well. Scrambled O got a lot of flack for eating a rare steak. Have you seen that video? And he just basically seared it each side and then ate the steak, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's raw. You're going to kill yourself." Well, if you think of a lump of meat, the bacteria. So I'm going to put me. The bacteria is going to be all around the surface of the lump of meat. Yeah, not in the middle, because it's all on the surface. Yeah. So if you just burn all the surface, doesn't matter if it's still raw in the middle, it is still edible. Yeah. If you mince it to make sausages or burgers, yeah, all that outside is now going to be on the inside and on the outside, yeah, because it's all mashed up. So anyone that eats raw burgers or rare burgers, they got to have rocks in their head, because that's just a stupid thing to do. But steak, as long as you've seared all around the outside, it doesn't matter how rare it is. And it's not blood in it anyway. It's red muscle dying. It's red muscle protein or myoglobin. It's not actually hemoglobin because when the animal's killed, they cut its throat and all the blood is gone. So it's just drip. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of the flack for scrambled O though is that he called it medium as well.
Bless him.
When he cooked it, he goes, "Yeah, this looks about medium."
Yeah.
And people I've seen the comments. Well, he posted it. He done a funny little video, didn't he?
Yeah. He did a video about how it stressed him out.
Yeah, and he posted comments was like, "Bloody hell, it's still got a heartbeat in that," and all the usual sort of banter comments.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the thing is, if he'd have cooked it really, really well, burnt the crap out of it, and said, "Look, I'm out in the woods. I can't afford to have an upset stomach. I'll be pooing through the eye of a needle." You need to, if you're cooking any sort of game, overcook it. If you're cooking chicken in the woods, if you're having a cooking chicken in your oven at home, you can have it slightly pink. That's not a problem. If you're cooking it out in the woods, where you do not want to have an upset stomach, overcook it, burn the crap out of it. But if it had explained that, everyone would have ripped him and said, "Oh yeah, you need to have it rare," and he'd have had just as much flack for not having it dead, a raw, bleeding piece of steak, because that steak and you ruined it, and he'd get just as much flack. So it's 50-50. You can't please all the people all the time. So
yeah.
But no. I would always err to overcook in an outdoor situation. There you go.
Yeah, well, you tend to be a little bit grubbier, and you tend to be harbouring a few more bacteria on your hand.
Yeah, exactly. And your knife's a bit dirtier, and it's just not a sterile environment, and it probably hasn't been refrigerated because the steak's been jammed in your backpack for the past 9 hours.
And folks, I have made myself ill in the woods on chicken. I've done it. It wasn't nice. Yeah. Although it didn't affect me till I got home. If I would have been out for a few days, it would have got me in the woods, and I would have been a bit of trouble.
But if you was doing a big hike, and you was middle of nowhere for a week, you're fizzy gravy out of both ends. You're going to get massively dehydrated because you won't be able to keep water down, and that's when you end up in serious trouble. If you're not, same as drinking contaminated water. Everything you eat needs to be cooked properly, hot, sterile, same as the water you're drinking. So so I can understand why he got some flack, but he wasn't getting the flack for the right reasons. I would have said, I would have properly cooked that just because you're outside. But I wouldn't pick anyone up. It's just petty. It's how he liked it. I don't think he travels far to his camp anyway, but he wasn't exactly in a survival situation.
No.
So.
No, he often goes to that little spot just to cook a breakfast up, doesn't he? So he's not.
Yeah, totally. So yeah.
No. So I guess with work, you're not really been out for fun just lately, have you?
No, I haven't. I've just been. I should have gone to Ant's camp, but then my wife booked some tickets to go to the cinema, and then the cinema got shut down because of technical difficulties. So it's just like, oh, really? Yeah, I'm out next weekend. Just doing like a little local camp with European Bushcraft. He's got like a family camp, and I'll probably do a firelighting demo or something. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get a video done as well, because I haven't done a video for ages, just not at the time.
No.
Or the motivation, and it's just like, I think this time of year, when you go to the woods and it's a manky, horrible grey day, everything just looks like a graveyard. It's just grey, everything's dead, and it's just kind of a miserable place to be. And I quite like, you know, once spring starts and there's a few leaves on, and it's everything's that's alive. It's just a nicer place to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think it's different. It's different if you're camping because you can have the fire and that. But if you're just sort of going for a bimble and wandering into the woods, they're just kind of a miserable place, and there's not a lot to film. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
just sit there pointing the camera at different dead trees, and you're like, "Here's the tree." It's boring. I can't find. You know, I've kind of lost my mojo for. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Hang on a second. I've just got to get the note from Step Away from the Screens that he put. It was really made me laugh. Oh. Yeah, because I do hope. Oh. Yeah. So, Step Away from the Screens recently did his 100 subscriber giveaway. And I won these little burners. So this one is a little aluminium bottle. Whoops, sorry. That's cut in. Oh, there we go. Cut in half and then tucked inside itself. I really want to know where you got that bottle because that would be perfect for like a mess bottle. So yeah, you can tell me in the comments. And then there's another little one. So you fill the outside up with meths, the flames will come up here, and this bit acts as a stand. So you could just drop that inside a little tin cup. And the other one's over there. I can't bother to get up again. The other one's a Coke can penny stove. So you fill up with mess, stick a penny on it. Anyway, the note he wrote me really made me laugh. Hey up, Bruce. Thanks for supporting the channel. I hope the stoves work well for you. If they do blow up in your face, please remember I'm too pretty for jail. All the best, Nobby and the kids. That really made me laugh. So, yeah, I need to get some meths or what's the other stuff? Bioethanol. And then take out and do a test of those as well. But yeah, I'm really interested where that bottle came from because I've been looking for something similar as a meths bottle, because meths bottles always pain in the arse sizes. You know, I want something sort of short and dumpy. You know, like I can't even think, but something sort of fairly squat and round. You know,
but Gareth, we were talking about it yesterday, me and Gareth.
yeah.
And he uses a hip flask. You can buy a hip flask off eBay for £2.50, stainless steel. And he uses a
Yeah. It felt all right. It's just I wanted something because I had about that much gap on top of my cup and burner and gas setup, and I was just looking for some kind of container that was round, sort of about that round and about that high. You know, like you get stuff like hair gel in, you know, those kind of little screw cap, little round tubs, something like that, but was watertight and wouldn't gonna, because the problem with alcohol is because it's a lot thinner than water, it's more likely to leak. So it's got to be a really wicked seal on it, and it's probably going to rot for a rubber seal anyway, because they do on Trangiers eventually. But yeah, yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to get some video done at the weekend.
he's put a comment on what it is.
Sorry,
He's commented what it is.
that's right. Hang on, I'll just. Where is he? Take a few 50ml plastic bottles for my mess. Like vape juice bottles. Yeah. That's good.
He put
Was it
Amazon Barber spray bottle.
okay. An Amazon Barber spray bottle. Okay.
So on Amazon shop,
Yeah.
it must be Barber's spray bottle.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
it just looks a decent size, and if it's got a decent lid on it, it'd be good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Tiny's in the house. Evening, fellas.
Hello. Yeah, I've still got to watch his video. Canoeing, was it 2 canoers and a fat bloke or something? Where he went out with Mine Wiseman. So yeah, got to catch up on that. It looks good.
Yeah. Well, I know you've not been on long, Bruce, but it's getting to that time where I've got to.
Yeah, no, that's right. I'm just sorry I'm late.
No, you're all right.
Yeah, just the traffic was a pain in the bum. I'm usually home by 9 o'clock, and it was like an extra hour because they'd shut all the slip roads off. So I was having to drive all the way up the motorway, turn around, and come back to get to the same roundabout that they'd shut the slip roads on. Absolute nightmare. So added an hour on.
That day that me and my friend was coming back from Silsden,
Yeah.
and they had the Bradford half marathon on. And it was
Oh.
normally an hour and 40 minutes to get home. And we followed this diversion and followed this. And there was this shop, my mate's called Wayne, and there was this shop called Wayne's Shoes or something.
Yeah.
And after about another hour and a half, we got back to this shop and it said Wayne's Shoes. I was like, you are joking. We've just done a massive square. So we went again and we did it again. So obviously, so I got out, you know, screaming. I've been in Bradford for 4 hours, screaming at this bloody official. What have you done? What have you done? You've made us go around twice. And he goes, it's not me, mate. He said, I won't live in this shit hole, would I? And I was just like, oh, what? I said, well, I don't know what to do. But the worst thing was, I could literally see the road 100 meters where I needed to go.
Yeah.
So it took us. Anyway, there was people driving up curbs, people driving around roundabouts the wrong way. By this time, we've been driving for so long that I needed to fuel up. So I went to pull in this garage, and this gentleman ran out in front of me to cross the road, and his pistol fell out his belt onto the floor. I was like, "What is going on with this place? Get us out of here now!" You know, straight into the petrol station, filled up, largest cup of Costa coffee we could get, and was like, "Let's just get out of here, man. We're going to get murdered." Yeah, his gun just fell out just because he ran across the road. I was like, oh my God.
No, not good. Not good. Yeah.
An hour and 40 minutes took 4 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. 4 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Don't stop. I have a question for Bruce, please, says Kent Survival. Yeah, go for it, Andy. My fault for chickening out. I don't know what was going on there. I've missed.
Yeah.
You've got to run the half marathon at that time. Yeah, maybe Bruce could have done. Not me.
No, I ain't that fit. Yeah.
I had to stop being a naughty boy because I could never get away from the police. They'd always catch me.
Yeah, I know that's like. Yeah, I do need to get fitter and start. Kensevold trail cameras. Trail cameras. Do you see any potential problems with this?
No, he's on about. Read the other one too first.
Oh, sorry. I've got a question for Bruce. Hi, mate. I saw your latest vid with the salt lick for the deer. Yeah. Got me thinking. So, I bought a horse one for a local. No, it's a good idea. Yes, hang a salt. If you hang it up a tree, probably about 2 foot off the ground or a foot off the ground, so it's not going to sit in the water, because if it sits in the water, it's just going to dehydrate and go. But sometimes they'll like bang a hole through it and tie it to a tree. What I didn't say in the video was usually while the deer is licking it, it lines you up for a perfect shot, so you're going to get a headshot and you're not going to damage any meat. That's a lot of the time they'll use a salt lick for that, and it just attracts deer into the area. But yeah, if you put a salt lick in front of a trail cam, yeah, it's a good idea. I like that. Salt lick on. Yeah, no, that's that's a really good idea. I like that. You can also put things down like turnips and carrots. They'll go for them as well. You know, when they sugar beet as well. If you find some sugar beet and dump that down there, they'll have a nip at that. When the guys set up in those, those really big tall chairs that you set up with the rifles shooting the deer, they'll usually throw a few root vegetables around, and that'll attract the deer out, and then you can get a good clean shot. So yeah.
Oh, good. I hope that's answered your question, Andy.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
I like the idea. It's good.
I'll have to get you on a bit quicker time next time, Bruce.
Yeah. Oh, in other news, I got a new lens.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Got
50 prime.
Yeah, 50mm prime STM one. So I've been after one for a while, and I was asking Fergs about it, and then I looked on Facebook, and someone was selling one, so I picked it up today as I drove through. So yeah, not bad. So,
what aperture does it go down to?
1.8.
Oh yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
That'll blow out your backgrounds pretty well.
And something a bit more squat as well, because DSLRs are just a big lump to lug around with a big lens on it. I know you can zoom in on stuff, but I just want some options to have a play with.
Well, when we was in the Lake District, Fergus took his 50mm prime. I think that was the only lens he had at the time. Yeah. He got all them star shots with that.
Yeah.
But it's 50mm prime is like the go-to standard bloody portrait lens,
Yeah, but because the aperture's so big on it, it's really good for night shots, low light, perfect for that, and picture the stars. So yeah, that's
because at the minute I haven't got a lens that goes below f4. You see,
right? Okay.
So
yeah. So yeah, I'll give it a go. I've still got to learn how to use it, but
simple.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is where I'm filming in video. There isn't as many settings on video as there is on camera.
No.
Because you don't have to worry about quite a lot of it. So anyway, yeah. So what do you want to knock it on the head there, or?
Yeah, I really need a crap.
I'm good. I was thinking. I was worried about that. I'm glad I know. Thanks for that.
And two, I'm knackered. It's 11 o'clock. I've been up all day. So yeah.
Yeah. No worries. Okay.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for not wrapping around the tree, because I couldn't live with the guilt. And we'll get out. So thanks everyone in the side chat, and thanks to you, Bruce. And
yeah,
we'll get you on in a few weeks, and that's it.
Yeah. Trying to think. Yeah, sort of end of April, I'm away, and then that'll be my night's finished on the Wednesday. So hopefully it'll be over soon. So yeah, about another month of this, and then I'll be free.
Really get to enjoy a bit of the spring.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Did like we did outdoors turn up tonight?
No, he didn't. I don't think.
Yeah, because he give you a bit of a shout out the other day. Mentioned the chat that he enjoyed it, so that was good. Well,
he's not actually caught one live yet. I give him a shout out as well, because he was leaving nice comments about the chat's better than radio and all the rest of it, and you know what I mean.
I've been watching him for ages, and he's quite chilled out, but he's really into his photography. And it's like we did Casino or something. His Instagram is really good as well. But but no, it's just a nice guy, and he's relatively local to me. He's kind of along the side of the Thames, so yeah. Anyway,
cool.
Yep. Okay.
See you later, everybody.
See you guys.